Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
people of Reddit who are anti-weed. Why? I'm only anti-weed for my personal consumption only. Why? Because I've smoked and eaten enough of it to put a down payment on 2 houses. I currently own less than 1 house. So I've decided to not use weed or any drugs moving forward to try and reclaim my life. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. I'm done talking about weed for the day, smiley face. Exactly. Other people are welcome to smoke, but I have an addiction that's crippling my opportunities. Weed is bad for me. Agreed. I don't mind people smoking. In fact, I still enjoy the smell of other people smoking. I just don't use it myself anymore. I've always heard people say, weed isn't addictive. Well, it was for me. It consumed my whole day and interfered with my work, my relationships, and my life in general. I'm just as happy saving that money as I was smoking it. I'm against marijuana use for people with a still developing brain. There are many studies to show why. Personally, I find the lazy stoner type to be true in some cases, and I find those people to be very annoying. I have some friends and family like this who stay high most of the day. It's a minority though, I am sure, so that doesn't really inform my general opinion on weed, but it is something I steer clear from when developing new relationships. Edit. Yes, feel the same way for drinking. I dated a guy who smoked constantly. I was pretty young and naive, and he told me it helped with his ADHD and arthritis in his hands. We used to go for dates, but after an hour or two he'd eventually be like nudging me to go back to his place. His laundry machine broke, so we went to my place to do laundry. Then after he put the laundry in, it was, "Ugh, I'm bored here, let's go back to my house and hang for 45 minutes and we'll come back." So I drove all the way across town again. This happened all the time. I broke up for other reasons, but it wasn't until after the breakup that I realized he was always pushing to go home because he was sobering up and needed to get high again. He could buy joints and bring them with him, but he had such a tolerance he needed 2 or 3 bong rips. So joints weren't enough. I have personally made a decision to not date people that smoke frequently. Dealing with this type of personality was so annoying. Me, "Hey man, you want to go get lunch?" Them, "Yeah, I will be right over. I just got a smoke." Them, "Hey, mind if I drive? I want to smoke and you don't want us doing it in your car." Once we get there. Them, "Hold on, I have to smoke before I eat. After we are leaving." Them, "I have to smoke real quick." It's extremely annoying and it takes so long for that person to pack their bowl and smoke. I'm not anti-weed and I think it should be legalized. But I hate it when people treat it as this magic cure for everything that you can't get addicted to. Telling someone with mental illness that they should just smoke weed is dangerous. Even though it can help, it's easy to latch onto the feelings and make it an emotional addiction. Weed can also cause psychosis and lethargy, so it's definitely not as great as Reddit makes it to be. However, I also believe it's safer than alcohol, which is why I think it should be legalized. Yes, I've seen friends who started with, "Weed helps my anxiety," turn into friends who need to be high all the time or they can't relax. At that point, yes, I'm viewing you not able to go more than an hour or 2 without getting high as an addiction. I've seen friends who started with, "Weed helps my anxiety," turn into friends who need to be high all the time or they can't relax. As someone who had a drinking problem for years, and as someone who has smoked acres of weed in my life, I can confidently say that the line between chronic cannabis use and alcoholism is a lot narrower and fuzzier than most pot smokers care to admit. It's not about physical addiction. It's about psychological dependence. If you can't function normally or be happy without consuming your substance of choice, you've got a real problem. Needing to smoke weed every day after work to relax is functionally the same dependence as needing a glass of bourbon every day after work to relax. Back when I used to drink whiskey every day, I was amazed by the number of people who judged me for it while they also got high daily. But it's different. No, it's not. I used to really love getting stoned, but eventually it got to the point where it just made me sad. That I felt like I had to get stoned before I watched a movie, or played a game, or had a nice meal. I hated that I had a real fear that if I stopped I wouldn't enjoy those things anymore. January 1st, 2022, I decided to give it up, ate my last edible and didn't order anymore. I was undoubtedly a little more of a jerk for the first week or so. But then I caught myself laughing at a show and had this introspective moment of clarity where I realized I was still watching and enjoying movies. I was still enjoying food and games. It's been just over a year now and I don't really miss it at all. And I just kinda feel dumb about how important it used to be to me. I miss the ritual of packing a bowl and the act of puffing on a pipe. But I don't miss being high. Truly. I still have dreams where I smoke cigarettes though. I don't think that will ever go away and I haven't smoked them in 5 years. Don't smoke cigarettes, kids. I quit cigarettes a year ago and still crave them too much. I thought I'd be over the hump after a year. But I sometimes still get cravings very similar to when I was still a smoker and hadn't had a cigarette all day yet. It's freakin' brutal, sometimes weary. 2. 5 years without cigarettes. I still want a fucking cigarette every moment I'm nervous or stressed or anything. It's so hard, but it's for my Daugta. So I guess I will never smoke cigarettes again.